Hi, my name is Trevor Gordon. I am a media relations community engagement specialist. I'm here to talk about Verse to Voice. Verse to Voice is Canada's premier singing-songwriting competition. The goal is to find amateur talented singer-songwriters, showcase them, and give them the opportunity to network, perform, and compete for great prizes. For the past month or so, this competition for Verse to Voice has been going on. It was last week when all the quarterfinalists got announced, and today we're actually having a chat with one of the quarterfinalists. His name is Daniel, and while we wait for Daniel to join us, I want to read a little bit about Daniel. So Daniel's journey into music began with a classical piano foundation that evolved into pop, R&B, and jazz. His passion for music and performance provided a sense of direction in his life, helping him overcome personal challenges. Daniel pours all of his heart and experiences into his music, hoping to resonate with listeners and offer comfort and connection. So I see that Daniel is... Hi, Daniel.
Hi Trevor, nice to finally meet you.
Likewise, let's line up our boxes. You look great. I like your background, your vibe over there. How's it going?
It's good. I mean, today's a little rainy, but no biggie.
A lot of rain today, you're right. Well, the first question right out the gate I have to ask you is what was your first reaction when you heard the news that you made the quarterfinals for Verse to Voice?
Honestly, it was a bit of surprise because honestly, I would say, I recorded the video from a while back, and before that, and since then, I've been doing a lot of improvements and working on a complete different new genre of music, of more into a jazzier and moodier side of music, from which is significantly different from the video which I sent, which was very more acoustic based.
Right. Well, what motivated you to be a part of Verse to Voice? Like, there's so many competitions, so many opportunities out there. What made Verse to Voice sort of stand out to you?
I mean, I guess when you're trying to make it big, you sign up for every competition, every audition you can find. And, it's always a 1 in a million, 1 in 10 billion, but that's how it is with the entertainment and music industry, isn't it?
Sure.
So, I just threw it in and I was like, hope for the best.
And we're getting a lot of people joining as we're chatting right now. So everyone that's watching, this is a very informal chat. So if you have any comments or questions, please put them in the chat and I'll try to get to them. We're talking about Verse to Voice. If you are interested in learning about all the quarterfinalists, go to Verse to Voice on Instagram. It's Verse, the number 2, Voice, Verse to Voice. That's where you're going to see all the quarterfinalists, which includes Daniel. And right now is the quarterfinalists, sort of where people are looking for engagement and shout outs and comments. You can learn all about that on Verse to Voice. Did you have any fears at all about entering Verse to Voice? You come across very confident, but was there any hesitation for you to jump on involved in this?
I mean, I think with any competition, it's that it teaches you to accept your weakness, in music and in your skills, and you hone them. Instead of looking at it as a fear, you learn from it and you admire others, and that's how you improve in any art related, industry.
Right. Right. Well, tell me about this song that you submitted. I know you said it's not maybe a song that you would normally submit for something, but what about this song made you think, yeah, this is the one I'm going to submit? And is there any insight behind this song?
Let's see, why did I submit this song? I guess it's one of the songs where I feel is most complete, well polished, and true to myself. The song talks about, it has some pretty dark themes, and it talks about feeling alone and feeling a lot of heavy weight that you can't really explain to other people. But to me, that is one of the moments where I felt most true to myself and true to my music. And as a result, I sent it in.
Well, we're glad you did because look at where you are. You're in the quarterfinals. Tom, I guess guess the other question I wanted to ask you is what even inspired you to become a singer-songwriter in the first place? Was there like a defining moment or did it sort of progress over time? But like a moment where you maybe just got goosebumps and said, you know what? Yeah, I want to do exactly that, you know?
Um, Honestly, when I was like 2 years old, I started learning classical piano, and honestly, worst experience of my life. I was crying every day, and I was forced to practice on hours nonstop. I literally had to go to the washroom in a plastic bag, but it's okay. I think around the age of 14, 15, you know, as someone who was born in 2007, COVID hit, and it was grade eight, and grade eight was supposed to be the year where you had the most fun, right? And I didn't, and it was terrible. Everyone got isolated, and we all just kind of felt alone. And with turning into like a teenager, we had hormones, and they kind of made us really emotional. And I guess it was that feeling of solitude from the pandemic, which really isolated us to our own feelings. And then my dad put me in a swim team, and yeah, it was really rough, I guess. 8 practices a week, 3 in the morning at 5 a.m., and I couldn't really take it. So I kind of snapped. And then as I kept on crying and breaking down a little more and more every night, I started writing music and putting my feelings in a melodic tune. And that was also the time I started branching from classical piano into more modern covers and a little bit of R&B feels and whatever got my feelings out into the world.
What is a song you really like that might surprise your friends, your family, your fans? Like, is there a song that you're like, yeah, maybe it's not what everyone would think I would like, but it's like, I don't know, I don't want to call it like a guilty pleasure, but you know, everyone has that one song that maybe people would be a little surprised that you like, you know?
To answer your question, what do you think I would like?
You know, honestly, since I've been doing these interviews the past week or so, I don't think I feel like I'm doubting my own question. Like, there's no such thing as a surprise, really. Like, someone yesterday or the day before said her favorite song was the Nintendo Wii theme song, you know? So it's like, I promised the viewers that I'm going to create a playlist of all your answers because it's been really interesting all the different songs that are coming out of each of your mouths. So I mean, I'm here to learn. I'm here to. I'm assuming there's really no such thing as a surprise. We like what we like, but
Honestly, I agree. Okay, well, to answer your question, it would probably be So I Danced by DPR Ian. And DPR Ian is basically an artist who mainly sings, but he also dances on stage. And his music, well, his current album called Dear Mr. Insanity talks about his bipolar disorder. And it basically, he uses a really bossa nova vibe in his music with a really dramatic chord progression to bring out his feelings of his disorder and his chaos within his mind. And the song So I Danced talked about him going through all these things and then not knowing to reply to them and then ending up just, dancing it out. And I feel that. Honestly, I like really relate to that.
what would you say to someone who's never heard your music before? Like right now, you're talking to the internet, you're meeting some new potential fans of you. What would you say to that person that has never heard of you before and, you know, you want them to discover you?
Um, I think my music taste and the music I write can be pretty diverse. So honestly, whatever you find, if you like it, just take your pick. Interpret it however way you want to, and as long as you enjoy it, it served its purpose.
What do you hope to achieve with being part of Verse the Voice?
Um, Recognition, publicity, feedback, of course. I wanna, I hope to learn a lot of skills and techniques from the fellow contestants because there's always someone better than you, right? So whether it be vocal, songwriting, musicality wise, I just want to gain something from it, not just publicity or experience, but genuine skills that you don't have yourself.
One thing that I've been noticing watching from the outside and looking at all the profiles of all the quarterfinalists on the Verse to Voice Instagram account is that there's so much love between you guys. Like this is supposedly a competition, but I'm seeing so many of the competitors, you included, writing positive messages under each other's profile pages. So what would you say why that's happening in this particular competition? Like the support.
I mean, it's probably because as songwriters and musicians, we understand the struggles of trying to make it big and trying to get our music recognized. And as a result, we sympathize with like each other. And it doesn't hurt to give each other a good word of encouragement or two.
Well, that's beautiful. Well, that segues to my final question for this evening. Share with us ways that we can connect with you and hear your music. Share with us your socials, any ways that they can hear your music. We want to vote for you. How do we get people to vote for you? Share it all.
Well, there's of course the Versa Voice Instagram account, which you can hop on. There's also your own account, which you're constantly working on with Versa Voice. You can hop on my Instagram account, either Dazzy T or Songs.Daniel. But the one I'm most active on is actually YouTube, called Piano Dan Toe. It's bilingual with Chinese and English, but I do dance covers, original choreos. I do music, singing covers, cover music videos, original song music videos, and random live streams where I cook. Who knows? But yeah, YouTube Piano Dan Toe. Search it up. You might like it, you might not. Whatever makes you happy. And yeah, that's it.
You've been great. Thank you so much for doing this. I know you're very busy. I see by just reading your bios on your Instagram accounts, you're very approachable. You're very easy to get to know. I wish you all the luck in this competition. Again, to those that are watching live, to those that are going to watch the re-record, you go to Verse to Voice on Instagram. That's where you're going to see all the quarterfinalists, and that's where you get to meet Daniel and learn all about him. Thank you so much, Daniel, for doing
Thank
this.
you
I appreciate it.
for having me.
Thank you.
And everyone, vote, vote, vote. Please vote. And it would be really nice if you showed your support for all of the contestants, myself included, by just commenting, liking, and just giving feedback. Thanks, everyone.
Someone got the last word named Marlon. He wishes you good
Thank
luck.
you.